Hello, and welcome back to Weekend Cartoon Reviews. This time, we're reviewing Animal Farm, done by Angel Studios, known for their Christian and Bible story adaptations, tackling a book that speaks out against communist propaganda. I'm not too familiar with the studio outside of the 3 movies they released last year, 2 of which I thought were decent, and the other I thought wasn't that great. I don't want to spoil the ranking video, so I won't say which goes where. Spoiler, they aren't very high on the list. Either of them are. And I wouldn't have checked them out had they not have been animated. But it was weird to see them do Animal Farm. Felt very out of place for this studio. The movie is based on the novel of the same name. I have never read the novel, so when I first saw the Animal Farm trailer, I didn't think it looked too bad. Thought maybe at worst it'd be a generic kids movie, and at the end of the day, harmless. This movie was actually my introduction to Animal Farm. However, I did see the scrutiny this film had online by fans of the source material, so that got me thinking, what if I watched the 1954 version of the movie? I did so the night before I went to go check this one out, and it was really, really well made. I went into it knowing what the message of the story is, and despite that, I got something enjoyable and didn't think it'd be as spine-chilling as it was. So, with this new movie now in the pipeline, did this new version of the source material win me over? No, of course it didn't! What are you, crazy? Yeah, no, this is not Animal Farm. The movie barely, and I mean barely, is trying to get the original message of the story correct. It tells the story in a completely different way, and they try to make it funny. Surely you all know the story of Animal Farm, right? It's a dark tale, but in case you don't, it's about these animals who live on a farm that get mistreated by the guy who owns the farm. The animals decide to rebel and build their own society, in which a pig named Napoleon gets into power and starts altering the rules of their society on his own benefit, while expecting everyone else to fall in line. In the story, the pigs were clearly the communists and everyone fell victim to the society. They fucked this story up so badly, man. Like, they have a new character who's some businesswoman that wants to take over the farm, so she teams up with Napoleon, and, like, this is not something Napoleon would do in the original story. Because he was the one causing all of the conflict. He didn't need help from anyone else. He was also based on dictator Joseph Stalin. Does this sound like something Napoleon would do? Or something Stalin would do, for that matter? No. Napoleon is easily the worst part of this adaptation, because they completely mischaracterize him and treat him as less serious in this version. The animation is hideous to look at, to be honest. Not like Viva Kids level hideous, but I guess the character models look fine. They're fine, generic at best, ugly at worst. Angel Studios was never known for making the best animation out there. They're no Disney or Universal. However, I'd go as far as to say Illumination movies look a lot more appealing than this does, even though Illumination has that very plasticky look to it. Ants! Ants! Looks more appealing than this. Yes, that Ants, the one from 1998. That movie looks more appealing than this 2026 adaptation of Animal Farm. Isn't that embarrassing? This movie is just not Animal Farm, man. The voice acting choices also baffle me. They got Seth Rogen to voice, the guy who voices Donkey Kong in the Mario movies, and Craig from Sausage Party, to voice Napoleon, the guy who's based off of Stalin, which Seth Rogen is a good actor, no doubt there, but he does not fit at all for this story. Every other performance just ranges from fine, I guess. I don't really remember who voices who, nor did I care. There's nothing I can point to that made me go, holy shit, this is bad. Apart from Napoleon, just because of how unfitting the role is. The soundtrack of the film is also pretty bad, as it uses a lot of rap, and I knew by the opening number of the movie that we were doomed. As it went on, it just got worse and worse by the second. By the end, I felt dead inside of this experience watching it. As mentioned, they muddle the message of the story completely. The end of the movie feels like a boss fight between Lucky and Napoleon. And keep in mind, throughout the film, Lucky was on Napoleon's side until the end when everything goes wrong because he's one of the pigs. I knew of this scene going in because Angel Studios had the nerve to post it on their Instagram. And I don't know what they were thinking with this because it rightfully got trashed online. And, like, even before I checked out the 1954 version, I was like, oh boy, what am I getting myself into? The ending of the 1954 film didn't have a boss fight level thing like this. They just overthrew Napoleon and relocated. And it doesn't last very long either. Everyone's been beating this movie up online, and even having low expectations won't help you here. And I'll say the same thing. It's a pale imitation of Animal Farm. It's got the story beats of it with new ones sprinkled in here, but all of it is dumbed down for no reason. I don't know who thought this was a good idea for an Animal Farm adaptation. They failed in every which way they could. Overall, this movie is a waste of time. It's worse than I thought it was going to be. Skip this one out entirely. That's all, guys. Bye, everyone, and have a great day.